All right. Good morning, guys. It's Moto. Hashtag OTU Media. Live from the bunker. Playing some American Truck Simulator this morning. Driving the We the People Freedom of Oklahoma Convoy. Haterville. Love what We the People Freedom Convoy is doing. Make sure you guys can go and check them out. If you want to see the rest of our content, you can go to otumedia.us. And we are set and ready this morning to enjoy the Jake Merrick radio show on 96.9 FM. Make sure you go to freedom969.com. Check out Freedom 969. 100,000 watts of freedom, baby. Covering the eastern side of Oklahoma. And like I said, if you're not in Oklahoma, you can tune in freedom969.com. So, getting ready to get started here. Took us a shot at this load yesterday. Had a few mishaps, but that's all right. Today we're going to sit back. We're going to relax. We're going to enjoy the drive. Eh? All right. I think we're headed to Lawton, Oklahoma this morning. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you go to www.patreon.com/OTU Media. There you can sign up to be a monthly subscriber for as little as $1 a month. Now the weather.
Here's your Oklahoma City AccuWeather forecast. Nothing but sunshine expected today. A little bit warmer than yesterday, but still cold, only getting to 23 degrees. Then we're going to dip down to 13 overnight under a clear sky. Sunny and windy tomorrow at 44. And then we'll see clouds and sunshine, a bit of a breeze on Thursday, 45. Back down to cold temps again Friday with some sunshine and some high-level clouds. With your Oklahoma City AccuWeather forecast, I'm Jeff Nordine.
It's time for the Jake Merrick Radio Show!
Ronald Reagan once called them an evil empire. 40 years later, that hasn't changed. The present world events remind us freedom is fragile. It's not ours by inheritance and must be fought and defended by each generation. That's why we're here, keeping you informed with 100,000 watts of freedom. We're Oklahoma's talk radio, the new Freedom 96.9.
Waking up, waking up!
Straight out of the heartland, a voice of the people, by the people, and for the people. This is the Jake Merrick Show.
Glad I'm alive.
The new Freedom 96.9.
Morning, Oklahoma.
Good morning, Jake Merrick.
Good to be with you this morning, Tuesday morning, January 16th, 7:03 a.m., and it is 5 degrees outside, feeling much cooler than that. But how do you even tell once you get to a certain point? Can you decipher between 5 and -5? I don't know, because once my nose goes numb, it's over. I know one thing, I'm sporting my beanie these days with my bald head. It is a must. I got a full show for you today. Got some headlines. Then we got Don Spencer hopping on to a Tuesday to give you an update on some crazy legislation that has been proposed here in Oklahoma. And then we're going to talk about some national issues, going to look around to see what is happening in the wide world of Trump, and looking at Congressman Burkeen addressing the impeachment of Mayorkas. So a lot of stuff to cover today. Let's go and get started with some headlines.
Headlines from home with Jake Merrick on Freedom 96.9.
Woo!
All right, we got Trump, of course, walking away with the Iowa caucus. As expected, there was some questions about it, if it would actually unfold as many anticipated, and it did. So I'll get some numbers for you on that. Then we got Tulsa Congressman Kevin Hurd arguing against a new rule that he said would harm small businesses here in Oklahoma. And so we're going to hear from him in a little bit. Then we got water that's unsafe for consumption being declared in southwest Oklahoma, out in down in Southwest. The city, almost said Atoka. It's not Atoka. In Altus. There you go, Altus. And then we got a new bill proposed suggesting that the best way for kids to learn would involve physical activity. So I'm going to look at some details there. First, Mr. Trump.
Trump, 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 Trump.
Of course, he walked away with it. Donald Trump receiving 51% of
Woo! Crushed it.
Ron DeSantis coming in second, 21%. Nikki Haley, 19%. They were very close. Vivek, 7%. And that would be the end of his campaign. He announced he would be dropping out and fully supporting Donald Trump, which is no surprise. He had really nothing but positive things to say about him during his whole campaign, so he will be coming behind him, as will Governor Bergstrom. So Donald Trump, 51%. And here's a little bit from Donald Trump himself.
Well, I want to thank everybody. This has been
the boss.
Time, and most importantly, we want to thank the great people of Iowa. Thank you. We love you all. What a turnout, what a crowd. And I really think this is time now for everybody, our country, to come together. We want to come together, whether it's Republican or Democrat or liberal or conservative. It would be so nice if we could come together and straighten out the world and straighten out the problems and straighten out all of the death and destruction that we're witnessing. It's practically never been like this. It's just so important, and I want to make that a very big part of our message. We're going to come together. It's going to happen soon, too. It's going to happen.
So very interesting, his tone on his speech. We actually mentioned that here before the show began. Just talking about how he comes across as a little bit different Trump than before.
I get that
brash,
too.
Not as brazen, but with a hint of humility, and talking about unity. That is something we haven't heard too much from him, but I think that there's a lot of weight that carries that message of unity, and because it's not about sacrificing values in order to achieve that. And I think that's so often what happens with conservatives or Republicans is we say, hey, we got to reach across the aisle. We have to compromise.
Piss on that.
And in order to do that, then we just throw off all of these things that we've said are...
I'm not reaching across an aisle to a bunch of jackals and gremlins.
These eternal values that we hold dear, we say, we can set them aside. In
bunch of anti-American subversive trash.
Trump's agenda here. Of course, personally, I value and prioritize principle over party, and I will be holding even Donald Trump to this high standard, as I think we all do. And so, it's going to be interesting to see as this unfolds how many are able to get behind him, at least get some unity within the party. The party is very fractured, but of course it always is during the primary. People getting behind their individual people. You had
yeah, that's because we need to take our elephant gun to a bunch of rhinos. What it is.
Most people would agree DeSantis
put them down.
We're
good.
And I would not be disappointed if he became president.
Not literally, obviously. I'm not advocating for violence.
It was not his time. I think he made a very
not today.
Jump in too soon. I think that it would have been awesome for him to throw his full weight behind Trump, continue in Florida for 4 more years, and then come out, and he could have the next 8 years easy. If he maintained that course in Florida, of course. So, my opinion, I know that there's a lot of DeSantis lovers out there, and my question is it DeSantis love or is it Trump hate? I don't know, but
it's
I think
cowardice,
Trump
Jake.
Is the man of the hour. I think that no one's
it's
going to touch
cowardice.
him, at least in the Republican Party, and of course he's leading the polls with Biden as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what these frustrated Democrats decide to do. Are they going to put their Are they going to cast a vote for the old person in the White House right now? I mean, it's just in shambles. And I don't know if you saw the recent video that Trump posted. I don't think he created it, but he shared it, and talked about the old folks home in the White House. It's pretty hilarious. So you can check it out. But I thought it was also funny. It was good. Little, it was scaled back as far as Trump goes, but he gave a nod toward DeSantis and Haley here.
I want to congratulate Ron and Nikki for having a good time together.
Good time. We all had a good time. And I had a great time smoking the both of you. That's funny. God bless.
About two people who jumped in a race where they had no chance. Like,
yeah, and then you got more than both of them combined.
That's what you're going to walk away with is a little consolidation trophy. They had a good time.
That was funny.
No one's going to touch Trump. And so it's going to
God, that was funny.
How this unfolds in the next waves as we track this. It's going to be an interesting year, 2024. All right, we got Tulsa Congressman Kevin Hern arguing against the recent National Labor Relations Board's recent joint employer rule. He said this would harm small businesses by holding a company liable for employees they do not directly employ or control. And he would know, as owner of multiple McDonald's franchises, he knows small businesses. And so here was Congressman Hern speaking recently on this NLRB rule. Here we go, coming up.
The chair of the Republican Study Committee, Mr. Hern.
The gentleman from Oklahoma is recognized.
Madam Speaker, because of the successes that I've had in life, not many people know that my life began very differently. My family was dependent on food stamps for most of my youth. My stepdad never worked, and my siblings and I paid the price for it. I knew from a young age that I would not let that be my life. From the moment I could start working, I did whatever it took to earn a financial security. Hog farming, welding, computer programming, the list goes on. If it weren't for the McDonald's franchisee program, I wouldn't be here today. After 11 years of working in the restaurants, I was able to work my way into the franchisee program and purchase my first franchise location and then build a successful company with over 20 locations and thousands of employees. I've lived a true American story, and my mission in life is to help every child who grew up like me, wondering where their next meal would come from, unsure if the lights would be on when they came home from school. I want those kids to know that our country is a place of opportunity and a place of hope for those who will work for it. Today, we are here to provide congressional disapproval of a rule that would completely destroy the franchise model that gave me the opportunity to be successful. I want to thank Congressman James for his introducing the CRA to shed light on how harmful the National Labor Standards Board rule is to small businesses and especially the franchise model. This new rule would have grave consequences on small businesses and the franchise model. Have we not learned from our history? Under the Obama administration, joint employer rule was expanded, and the data shows that franchises lost $33.3 billion each year, 376,000 jobs were lost, and lawsuits increased by 93%. We've already seen this administration's spending habits wreak havoc on Americans in the form of inflation. We cannot allow the Biden administration to move forward with this rule that will have devastating effects on our economy. We should learn from our mistake that Obama administration made and reject this new joint rule. Madam Speaker, I urge my friends on both sides of the aisle to support HJ Res 98. I yield back.
All right, a little bit long clip, but I wanted you to hear the full story there, laying out his personal story and his rise by utilizing the free market, taking advantage of opportunity and working hard. He was able to, so many times that, we want to demonize